Hey everyone, it's Baris here. Today we're gonna take a look at another lick together, so let's get started. I released a song a few months ago which is called Rapid Eye Movement. So today I'm gonna show you some licks from that song. If you haven't listened to the song yet, you can find the links in the description down below or in the cards. And I also put the backing track too, if you want to play over it. And of course, please feel free to share your videos with me if you're gonna work on this lick. The first lick that I choose for this video is from the intro section. So let's take a listen to see how that part sounds. This may seem complicated at first, but it's not. So let's get started. First of all, I think it will be great to know the theory behind the song basically. I wrote this song in the key of D minor, so we have B flat, and the guitar is tuned to drop D. So what does it mean? You can assume that the whole system is tuned as standard E except the lower string. Only the lower string tuned to D, but it's not a thing that you want to consider because we're not going to use the lower string for this phrase. And besides that, if you know how to play all the diatonic patterns, it will be great to understand what I'm doing here or what the other guitar players do, so you can easily see where the wrong notes or the right notes are. It's 94 BPM by the way, and I think these are all the data that we should know before analyze what I did in this section. And if there's something that you don't understand about these kinds of details, please feel free to ask in the comment section down below. For the first part, the melody contains lower notes. In the second part, we have a similar melodic idea. It sounds like an octave above. Not exactly the same as the first part, but it's pretty similar. So let me show you quickly. The first part. And the second part. In the first part, the melody lies over D minor chord. So the thing that I'm doing here is I'm gonna start off from D on the G string with the ring finger, jump to the lower octave up here, which is the 5th fret on the A string, then F on the same string with pinky, then jump to the G string and play D again. I use palm muting except for the notes that I play on the G string. And another thing that I should mention is that, as you can notice here, I play the whole section with using alternate picking and starting with downstroke. Then I slide up to the 10th fret on the G string, which is F, and I'm doing that by picking, by the way. It's really important to do that with downstroke, because by doing that, you will feel more confident to start the second part. Like that. So F on the G string, then followed by the lower octave up here on the A string, which is the 8th fret, and the G on the same string. I use my index and middle finger to play these two notes, then jump to the octave down here with upstroke. Slide to the 12th fret with the ring finger on the G string, and don't forget to pick that note simultaneously. As I've said in the very beginning, you have to be careful and try to understand where I use the palm muting technique, to get that percussion kind of a sound. you know, you have to feel the groove, and I actually didn't think of it while I'm composing this section. You know, it's became a natural feeling for me, and you can do this as a practice, you know, if you want to feel more confident to play the phrases like this. For example, okay, let's move on. Start with G, then C and D on the D string, and G on the A string, which is 10th fret. Now I think the best way to explain what I'm gonna do here is playing straightforwardly through the D minor pentatonic pattern until we arrive the G here, like that. And so far we have after that C and D on the D string, and slide to F from D with upstroke. Now we're gonna move down to the C on the B string, then the F on the E string by using the same finger, and we have G here. Now the things are getting easier. We have C and D on the B string and A on the G string with the middle finger, and G. Now the thing that we're gonna do is play the diatonic pattern on the G string by moving one step forward and jump 2 steps backward until we arrive to E here. I think it's the best way to explain what I'm doing here, and apply a quick impulse on that E note, and finally resolve to D here. One more time from the beginning. As I said in the very beginning, the thing that I'm doing here in the second part is not so much different than the first part. It's possible for you to think that I'm doing the same phrasing, but actually it's not. So we are starting with D on the 10th fret here, then an octave below, which is the 7th fret on the G string, then play F note on the same string with downstroke. By the way, it's important to do fingering correctly. So I use my ring finger to play this F note because we're gonna play D on the E string after that, like that. Now slide to F from D on the E string, but don't forget to pick while you are doing that, as we did in the first section. After that, land on the 10th fret on the G string, which is F again, and then G here, and come back to the F down here, very similar to the first section, and slide up to the G here by picking. So G on the E string, C and D on the B string. I use the index and the middle finger to do that, and don't forget to pick everything. And now move up to the A, which is 14th fret on the G string, and D on the B string. After that we have A and G on the E string, like that. Now we have a big jump all the way up to the D string here. Play F and G on the D string, and with index and middle finger. Then the D on the A string, which is 17th fret. Then play an octave higher and turn back to A string again. Now play the first and the second octave one after another. So I'm doing this by using my index, ring and pinky, but some of you may feel more comfortable with using with index, middle and pinky. It's completely up to you. And now we have F and G on the B string, then C on the E string, followed by A, and slide down to the G, which is 2 frets lower, and turn back to A again with the third finger. And then jump to the F and G note on the D string with using index and middle finger. And finally E on the B string with an vibrato or bend, whatever you want to say, like that. And lastly resolving to D here, like that. Now I'm gonna play completely. Okay guys, it was the second lick video. I hope you find it helpful. I will share more soon, and if you have any lick or phrase suggestions, please put a comment down below. And of course you can share your videos with me if you're gonna work on these licks. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.